What's up, guys? Ryan KRUESI back in your living room, cell phone, computer, maybe outhouse at the construction site. Back with another build. We're working on the 2023 Road Glide that we're building for our man Terry. It has a 135-inch motor in it. You can check those videos out. They're out there, somewhere out there. Maybe I'll put a link up here if I remember how to do that. But today we are installing a stealth exhaust, a stainless steel stealth exhaust. We are installing a feuling BA air intake. It is, I think that stands for badass. I'm not really sure. Maybe like BA Baracus. Maybe that has something to do with the A-Team and we don't really know about it yet. Maybe you're actually buying into a protection program from the A-Team when you get that air filter. That would make more sense to me, I think, honestly. And we're going to put a ThunderMax in because we got to put the ThunderMax O2 sensors in the exhaust before we put the exhaust on and go from there. It's going to be a hell of a day. I got to get all this done, and then next we're going to be cutting that carbon fiber fender up, and that's going to be scary. But here we go. This motor is just a little bit taller, and we're put a ThunderMax in, and the ThunderMax have much bigger O2 sensors. So the O2 sensor was hitting the frame right here, so we had to space this out, which this exhaust comes with a spacer, so if you need to space it out, you space it out off of this mount down here. And then I just manipulated everything. You can draw the heads in the headers in different directions with these bolts right here. They're like little steering wheels. So I just, move the exhaust where I have a good 1/4 inch of clearance. It's either going to work or it's not. If this hits, we're going to test it and all that stuff and we get the motor running. We got to rock it back and forth and all that good stuff. If it hits, we might end up running a different exhaust. This exhaust was not set up on this big ass motor. So when you're putting big motors in like this, sometimes you're going to run into some issues. It is a little bit different. It's just a little bit, but that little bit makes a big difference. A little bit matters. What was that old saying? Deek. Now you know. I'm going to put the floorboards on. I'm going to mock up art. This is all, the purpose of me doing all this right now is because I need to take it over to the fab side and start mocking up to build the brake pedal for the mid controls. I got to weld the inner and outer primary set up, get that set up. I got to build the shift shaft. I got to machine off part of the the inner primary and start doing the fab work. And then we're going to cut the back fender and mount a license plate bracket and license plate light and stuff in that fender. So I want to do all that over there on the dirty side, but I'm trying to get all this stuff. I want the motor all boxed up and closed up before we go over there. And I need the floorboards on. So I have the stock ones here now. Normally, when this goes down, you have to space the floorboard mount almost every time I put an exhaust on a Harley Davidson. And it looks like it's going to be the same with this guy, but I'm going to get some hardware in it and check it out and go from there. Sorry to interrupt your program, but I just want to talk to you guys about something real quick. It's Christmas time here at KRUESI Originals, and you can either look this good, or you can go to KRUESIOriginals.com and get you something looking this good. I don't like this bolt. This is the stuff that's fun about Harley Davidsons is the stock hardware won't just bolt right back in the stock hole because it's so well made. Come on, baby. Feel good all the way through. Thing is loaded with Loctite from the factory. Look at that. I just pulled all that back out of there. You gotta take the time to clean all the threads, otherwise it just gets you. Oh, the joys of mechanicking. The time you're gonna spend just doing this type of shit. If you're gonna do it right, I mean, you could hit this with just hit it hard and jam her home and hope for the best. Beautiful. I got full penetration. It came out the back side. You can put it in the front and blow it all the way out the back. It's perfect. Well, make sure you have clearance all the way around this dude right here. If you can see down in where the the head pipe goes. A lot of times you'll have to space this guy out, but you can only space out a little bit because it has that little nub that sticks out that clocks it in place, and you want to make sure that still sticks in its hole. But we've got good clearance all the way around. It's about 1/4 inch. It's more than I've ever seen, and I have not spaced it, so I'm not gonna space it. But yeah, I also got to put our floorboards on, so it might make a difference. It might make it a little, it might be close to the pipe, but we'll find out, and then we'll check it again. These are our KRUESI Originals F&A floorboards. They are very aggressive tread pattern. They are adjustable. They are in the mid-control position right now, which I already torqued these down with red Loctite and a torque wrench. If you put them back here, this is a factory position, but they are 1 inch higher no matter what than stock. They've also got a nice spot for hooking your foot down there for the stunt riders. And this is to bolt on a titanium plate that has not been developed yet, but that'll be an add-on down the road.
Does F&A stand for
F&A? F&A. See the difference in the clearance right here? Before I couldn't get my wrench in here because the floorboard was too close. Now I've got, it's 1 inch taller, which bringing your feet up 1 inch gives you a lot more ground clearance, and it puts you up in like a much more comfortable ergonomical position and more of an attack position for riding. It's definitely better overall. I like them in the factory position up forward with the factory brake. It just bringing them up makes it feel real nice. These come in gloss, black, and raw. They're available on KRUESIOriginals.com. I'll put a link here or down there in the description somewhere. If not, just go to the website. You can find them. F&A floorboards. When they're in stock, they go really, really fast. If you see them in stock, they won't be there long, I promise. They're dope. This side's done. That shit looks good. I'm going to make a new brake pedal. It's going to be about back right here. I'm going to line it up with the shifter on the other side because we're building mid-controls on the other side. If you guys haven't seen, the shifter is going to come through this hole right here. I'm going to machine this dude down. It's going to slide through and be welded in. This will be welded on the inside so the O-rings can sleeve into this and it'll seal and sandwich itself together. And then she'll have true mid-controls. I also have to build the whole shifter assembly and all that jive, but that will be in the next couple videos to come. Next, I'm going to install the old air filter kit. Goddamn Thundermax still. I think it's kind of a pain in the ass, but that'll be cool. Fits really nice. Yes. So, we're doing a little muffler swap up. It's a swip swap. I gotta turn that guy around the other direction. Son of a beeswax. But there's a lot of muffler options for the Stealth. This is the turnout style. This is kind of nice for the baggers. It keeps it off the bag itself a little bit. And this is the most aggressive sounding one. I love the sound of the OG and the pipe bomb. The pipe bomb is my favorite, so I run on most of mine. Mostly just because it looks like tuner exhaust, and I come from that world a long time ago. But this is the most aggressive sounding muffler they have. So paired with the 135, I think this is going to be, it's going to be ridiculous sounding is what it's going to be. It's going to be nasty. So we're going to swap this guy out. I got to swip swap. Wasn't Swip Swap a website where like you could buy stuff on Facebook or something? Like before Facebook Marketplace? Or Wife Swap or something like that? It's like a housewife trading post online. What thing is on there? Jesus, Murphy. That's a tight one. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get this one back on there. Fucking crazy old bastard. Beautiful. These are the super badass snap-on pliers. Have all these fancy little notches and things for grabbing a hold of shit like this. Because this is a little bit of a pain in the backside right here, I do have to say. Oh, come on, baby. She ain't gonna let me in. Did I get it? I think I got it. Yes. Okay, now I'm going to install the thunder header. It should be pretty straightforward, easy peasy. As long as I can get all the little damn little things off of it. So here's dielectric grease. Fill all the connectors, keeps them from corroding and keeps them in constant contact. It's kind of important on a Thundermax. A little sensitive with that kind of shit. These are your O2 lines for your O2 wideband sensors. Gotta screw these guys in first. Lots of little tiny pins in here that you don't want to get f***ed up, so put the dielectric grease in. It just keeps a smooth install. It's just safety all the way around. Oh, she is locked and loaded. I'm gonna pull the battery out and put it on a charger because this bike's gonna be sitting for a while. And I'm already there, so I'm gonna do it. Now the plugs kind of go where we need the plugs to go. Run this guy down through here. Plugs are so big on these things, it makes it very inconvenient. So nice, it comes with clips in here for the old O2 lines. Once I get the bike, start putting it together, and that's actually together, I'll tie these up really nice. But not now, because I don't really know where they need to go. Intake time. Let me clean up my mess and get reorganized, and we'll get to some intaking. Here's the intake from Feuling. Taken apart, it's got a velocity stack in it. That's pretty cool. The only thing I don't like is the velocity stack is bigger than the line that you need to hit these bolts, so you have to either use a ball Allen or some kind of one turn at a time type bullshit. Not stoked on that, but it is really nice. Comes with some nice nuts on the back to hold everything together. I'm gonna look at a few directions and then I'm gonna start installing this thing because I've never even seen one of these in my entire life. Remove the 1/16 MPT plug from both sides. That's this big dog down here. Now install the 8x32 3/16 block off screw. It don't make any sense. Why do I take one out to put another one back in? So right now I'm modifying this dude with some upgraded head breathers. These dudes right here, which are not really an upgrade at all, they just circulate it to the outside instead of putting it back into your combustion chamber. So instead of burning the oil, you are now spraying it all over the place wherever this filter's at. Because this is an M8 and it will puke oil through the air filter all the f***ing time, no matter what you do. Especially the bigger you go with them, the worse it is. They're just oil pukers. Really got to put a catch can on it to resolve anything. And better head breathers and a trans breather. They need a lot of shit, which I think we have a trans breather for this one. So way down in this channel down here, probably I'd say about right here, it's threaded, and you thread a set screw in and you plug this off. So now I'm breathing straight out of this port into here instead of recycling it, which will stop you from building up a bunch of carbon on top of your pistons, because the M8s are notorious for that because they have such a bad blow-by problem that they cover the pistons in carbon, and then you tend to blow motors up and shit. But this is a cool bit of machine work right here. It's the heavy-duty thread sealer. A little bit of dielectric grease on the seals. Keeps them soft and supple. Also kind of holds them in place for you, which is nice, because there's a lot of shit to hold in place with this thing. Spacers for the old big intake manifolds. So far, this intake manifold on my judging scale, on the Ryan KRUESI's judging scale so far, craftsmanship looks nice. Install, I'll give it a 0. I hate shit that I have to do in 20 different steps. So, anytime you gotta take this thing off, service it or anything, you literally gotta sandwich a bunch of shit together 3 times. So now that you've got these 14 pieces assembled right here, this has gotta be loosely started. Oh, yep, thank God the gasket fell off. That just is there just to hold the shit in place. This doesn't fit very well. It's a little like out too far. I gotta put it in a little bit of a bind. Now, these guys hopefully come out of there. So now I gotta stack the other pieces of the puzzle. Number 1, line up all the holes. Number 2, there's that piece. And you gotta line up all the holes with this guy. Now a little blue Loctite. Does she have a top and bottom? It does. Look at that. There's a little T in there. I'm going to say that means top. No, it doesn't. It has a whatever way she goes. That's what we're going with. There it is in all its glory. The Feuling BA air filter. It is pretty awesome. That thing looks pretty sick. It looks pretty weird when I look at you with my glasses on. But it looks dope. I really, really like it. It looks good on that big ass motor. Might be in the way a little bit of the old leg position right there, but I guess we'll come to that bridge when we have to cross it. Yeah, I think that's gonna be pretty uncomfortable, but you know, I didn't buy that part. I didn't recommend that part. It was just sent here. So there she goes. Hopefully it works out pretty good, because I'm gonna move the brake pedal just about right underneath that muff, so maybe you can just have your feet and your shins will just be resting up against it. It looks sick. This whole thing looks big and nasty. I bet it's gonna sound real mean too. 135 sucking that big intake throttle is gonna make a lot of noise. That's gonna make a lot of noise. She's gonna be bad. What time is it? 3 o'clock. What more can I do? Not much, because I need to move this over next door and I need to put a car in there tomorrow, so I think that we are done with this thing for the day. On that note, do I have a closing statement? Yeah, I got really as far as I wanted to go today. I think that's it. I'm gonna call it a day because it's Friday and it's just about quitting time and I don't want to start another project. And the next project I gotta start on this, I gotta move next door to the fab side and set up over there, but I gotta pull a car in there tomorrow morning, my kid's car, and do some work to it. So I'm gonna stop for the day, come back in here on Monday, and we're gonna knock out the ass of this thing and then final strip the whole bike down once again so it can all go to powder. Stay posted, like, subscribe. All KRUESI merch, all the shit that's on this bike, everything we did is on KRUESIoriginals.com. Peace!